long-awaited biopic Rocketman charts the life and career of one of the most impressive pop performers of all time, Elton John. Sir Elton John, indeed. Movie reviewer Deirdre Malumbi recently caught up with some of the movie stars to find out more.
I could hear the whole tune in my head. It was all there, I could see all the notes, and I just had to get it out.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside.
What did you say your name was again?
My name is...
Reggie!
Reginald Dwight.
Reginald? That's my granddad's name.
So how does a fat boy from nowhere get to be a soul man?
You gotta kill the person you were born to be in order to become the person you want to be.
I'm thinking of changing my name to Elton.
But that's my name.
Taron, congratulations on Rocketman. I enjoyed this immensely and you were phenomenal in it, so congrats.
Thank you, Deirdre. That's really lovely. Cheers.
I suppose my first question for you would be, you know, there were obviously so many challenges that came with this role, but what would be the one that sticks out in your mind as the biggest challenge you had to overcome?
There's lots. It's been a real learning curve, you know. If I tried to pretend that I turned up as an accomplished singer and studio recording artist, I would be lying. I have learnt through the process. I've had some great guides and some great support, chief amongst them being Sir Elton John and Giles Martin, who is an incredible music producer and an incredible man. I'm very grateful to him. But I suppose managing the pressure a little bit as well and putting that away and getting on with my job when, you know, there's such a gargantuan task ahead of me. But I've loved it. I've absolutely loved it. It's been wicked.
Like you said, you've worked with Elton John so extensively, and of course you were in Cannes with him just last week. Is there anything that, you know, you came to learn about him that really kind of took you by surprise that you weren't expecting?
Yeah, lots of things, you know. I mean, the one thing that I really have been so happy to report to, you know, people like my family is just how kind and genuine and interested and warm he is. And, you know, I knew he was a good man because there's, you know, he's done so many good things. Not only creatively, both, you know, but philanthropically. But I didn't know that how interested he would be in me and invested he would be in me. And it's not just me, and it's not just because I'm playing him. I've seen him be that way with many other young artists and creative people.
It's amazing to see, yeah. You're so good at all of the Elton John songs in this. It's really hard to pick a favourite. But do you have a personal favourite that you like to perform, and why?
In our film, I'm very proud of your song.
Yeah.
And I am proud of it because the film has so much spectacle and it's so stimulating. It's such a feast for the eyes that I love that song because it's quite reduced and it's quite intimate, and it's sort of about Jamie, Bernie and Elton really, and their friendship and their relationship, and you know, between them this sort of mad alchemy happens and they create this thing, this song, this bit of poetry, and I really, you know, it was one day where we shot that, and it's really cool. I've got a daft costume on. I'm putting this Y-front I'm wearing, but it's really it's a scene I'm proud of.
What's this? Number 11 in Italy. The song doesn't work, that's the problem. The record's coked out MOR. The problem is you have never understood me and what I have to go through. And you know what? I should have sacked you when you left me.
I am glad I left you. It means I can maintain some objectivity in your self-indulgent, myopic little world. Get in the studio, make some music or don't. I don't care.
Well, you will when your money runs out.
Do your worst. In fact, take me to court. You signed contracts with me years ago, so I'll still be collecting my 20% long after you've killed yourself.
Bryce, I suppose the first thing I wanted to ask you about was how did you feel about the prospect of, you know, singing on the big screen? Were you in any way nervous?
No, because it was so short. It's so brief. Yeah. I actually, when I landed in the UK, I went straight to Abbey Road and recorded the song and met Gemma Jones and it's so brief, and especially seeing everything that Taron was doing. Of course, it's great to be a part of that, and I love that scene. Yeah, Taron Taron was the one who was doing the singing and the dancing.
Just a bit about your role, Sheila Eileen. She's not very nice, unfortunately, and it reminded me of how you've done kind of mean characters before in the likes of The Help. You do hear that playing the bad guy, is that a bit more fun? Have you found that yourself in your roles? Or?
Yeah, of course, like these playing scenes where someone is misbehaving or someone is sort of not towing the line of society, so to speak. There's a deliciousness about that because, that's taboo. We're not allowed to be that way. But it definitely, there's a point at which like that deliciousness ends because you realize, wow, these were real things that were said. This was an interaction that happened. And this is heartbreaking, certainly.
Picking up on that, actually, did you feel kind of an added weight or responsibility given that this is based on, a real life figure, there was?
Yeah, I really did feel that way. And I actually, when I first signed on to this project, I had a really long conversation with Dexter Fletcher and was asking a lot of questions, lots of conversations with Taron, also asking lots of questions. And wanting to talk to people outside of this production who knew her. So yeah, it did feel like a responsibility, and it's also, this movie is from the perspective of Elton John, and it is very emotional. And I wanted more than anything to understand their dynamic, to understand what it felt like between them, what was the energy like between them, because it had lasting repercussions for Elton.
You were never ordinary.